Oh, that was bright as junk. What up? Like, seriously, what up? Hi, how are you? How are you? Hey, oh, Kung Pao. Biscuit. I lost all my pens. 1 second. Pens acquired. Ba-na-na. How you doing, cutie loo hoo? What's your day up to? Probably won't need that one as much. Oh, got about it anyway. It's no, I'll swap out this one for this one. Might need these two. Wait like 6 more hours till I'm home. I mean, do you want to roll a D100 and see what you get on the Magic Wild table? You may end up in Egypt, which will make KT a little upset. So, me and the Lion Creative were chatting earlier about how long it takes to commute in his area. And the request was, could he have a just teleportation? I said, well, if we're going to mix in teleportation, do we need a wild magic table? My thoughts being that if you use a wild magic table, maybe people would be a smidge respectful of using it. And the thought was is that if you use it, you might end up in Egypt as a joke because the table rolled too hard, and Katie Lou might be a little upset that she's not in Egypt right now. So, oh, excellent. So, have you guys kind of worked out a rotation timer yet? Just out of curiosity, not to get into your business. Conversation, as it were. Uh, Last long distance relationship I was in, we kind of worked out a rotation timer to make sure that we weren't, overly missing each other. Been a few years since Painty's been involved like that, so I don't know if you cool kids do something different now. That's all good. All good. We actually, that's what we were doing at first. And then we kind of fell into a 2 week rotation. But then again, I was going to like Greenville, North Carolina. So it was an 8 hour drive. But it was, it's still a lot to get over there on the weekends. Welcome in, Avis55, and thank you for that follow. We made it to 310. I need to still make that stupid graphic for 355. 350. Dumb. Things are going slow and good. How are you? Tonight's Sir K. So we're back to our Mix It Up Monday. It was kind of a, quiet day. I did manage to change over my, change out one vanity sink earlier today, so that was nice. So on Mondays, I typically tend to challenge myself, and I only use the primary colors. The only exception is I add violet, because sometimes violet is a nicer color to have on the palette than others. So we're only allowed to mix from those. I mean, I understand that. I understand that completely and wholeheartedly. This is Sir K from the Big Child Creatives Echoes of Camelot series that they did. Unfortunately, they are currently no longer a business, so you'll have to find them through other means. But I understand. I did a number of work email checking today because I'm waiting on an NTP / task order to roll in. And once it rolls in, I'm going to be balls to the walls again. Like gangbusters. So, well, kind of thinking going gray hair with this chap. His armor is black. His cloak is brown. I don't have any black and white really on the figure. Gray hair may be the way to jive with him. And if anybody hangs out with Valhu, I was in the same boat. For the past number of years, I kind of forgot and ignored Twitch for the longest time. The only person I was really following on Twitch long before one of the few reasons why I ever even had a Twitch account was to follow Day9. Back in the day when he was doing his Day9 dailies for StarCraft 2. And then it fell out after I kind of lost interest in the MLG and all that jazz. So I recently decided to start coming back to Twitch because I hate my career. And it's a fun place to find an amazing community. I was following Day9 TV. Who was the other guy? Trump SC, because that was back when Hearthstone was still a thing. And that was kind of it. Since then, I have added God knows how many followers to my, or I've followed, I don't know how many miniature painters, been in love with this community and all the amazingness that there is to offer in it, and get to have a really fun time hanging out and vibing and just painting and trying to level up. So on Mondays, we mix all of our own colors. On Wednesday night, I tend to do board game pieces, which would be, let me rinse out my brush really quick. These lovely figures from Batman the Animated Series. We're kind of going with the comic bookish style. With the penguins and the Two-Face. I need to do a lot of work on Two-Face. I'm still not happy with the white. My God, the white is going to kill me. And then we have the Joker. And really, these are the last bits out of the main box that I need to paint. So we paint a variety of different things. I tend to stick primarily in fantasy, more than most. On Sundays, we do Cutie Patootie Sunday. This was the Fey Dragon that I started painting. A couple of streams, we're about 6 hours into it. And then, I don't know if Cutie Lou saw this, but I started the unicorn, trying to figure out what color I wanted to go with it. And then I've been rotating this in and out of cycle. Working on an archer, a fall archer themed. This is currently the background base to the vignette piece that we've started. I've got that done. We're about 12 hours into this piece. Alicorn? Wasn't an alicorn. That piece is this figure right here. I've started the back piece of it. I still have yet to do any of her. But I might need to take a break from it for just a couple of weekends so I can get my mind right. Friday nights tend to be a kind of a wild card of whatever I'm working on. Sometimes I'm trying to finish things. Sometimes I'm just futzing about. We'll never know until Friday happens. Went way too white. Way too quickly. What's up, Jace to Face? How are you doing, sweetie? I saw that you're going to be at work all week this week. That's sad. I understand. I understand. I have a wish list at Micro Center saved for a new PC. And on top of that, every time I open up frickin' YouTube Shorts, Final Fantasy Tactics pops up. I'm like, son of a... Leave me alone, Square Enix. A new PC or Final Fantasy Tactics? But I also spent like $100 at Reaper this weekend, so. For me, Tactics is a childhood like favorite. And it looks like they sped up so many pieces of it. Hey! It's Hootie already. It's Hootie. Is it Halo, right? It's Hootie's here, motherfuckers. I don't have a glove on, so I can't give you a proper
Painty underscore paint underscore paints, stay in frame, smiley face.
Hey everybody. In case you guys didn't know, Tiny Big Wars is Epic Cheese TV. I am in frame. You leave me alone, Laden Roses. You can't bully me. You can't bully me. You're not my boss. He's making a game about cheese. No, you can't. You can't bully me. No, I forbode it.
This stream is now property of cheese.
Oh, you get to wear a D-hem? Oh, I'm going to lick everything and ask, is this a mimic? Everybody, we've been taken over by Epic Cheese TV. I would like everyone to take a few moments, and I would like to remind you where the HR forums are at. You can find them at brushforhire.com, and we can blame him. Be safe, Layden. Roll well. I hope you don't get mommied too hard. Does he have a mustache? Motherfucker has a mustache. God damn it, mustaches. At this scale? Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Didn't want to bring it over tonight, but I guess I have to. What's up, Lit? How you doing, sweetie? I feel you on that. I feel you on that, Lit. I'm currently battling something similar in terms of spiral, but we'll get there. If we need to kick anybody, let me know. I'll gladly help kick them. I mean, it's always impressive to me that. So this week I've been waiting on like a task order to roll it. Well, let me roll back and tell the story a little bit. Let me roll back about a week and a half. So work has tried to get me on this really, governor's important type project for work. For those that don't know, I am a civil engineer by trade. I design roadways and stuff like that. Uh, because I design roadways and stuff like that, I get kind of weirded out about having my face on screens and all that kind of stuff. And I don't often advertise what I look like anyway. Um, yeah. Because I'm super busy, well, I am a high functioning person. Like I have the ADHDs and the autisms and all of that stuff to be a very detail oriented person. So right now, our problem is, yeah, because of how the government works right now, we're trying to get some projects fast tracked. Lies to what? Okay. Because we're trying to get a project fast tracked, the client, my state DOT, is very aggressively trying to push a project forward. But one of the guys that used to work for this firm was famous for saying, don't worry about the schedule. The client will figure out the schedule themselves. As we were chatting one day, they're doing a really good job of figuring out their own schedules because essentially a bunch of us are sitting around on our asses waiting for this thing to kick in. And it hasn't kicked in yet. The reason why it hasn't kicked in yet is because our client has yet to get a task order in place so we can start billing to the project like we're supposed to. So for the last week and a half,
paint_paints, stay in frame, smiley face.
I'm a civil engineer. I design roadways, drainage systems, MS4 systems, horizontal, vertical geometry, all of it. Yep. Yeah. 3D modeling, 2D modeling. The only thing I've never done is designed a bridge. It's the one thing they won't let me do. And I'm okay with that. So we've kind of been twiddling our thumbs a lot this week, or, for the last week and a half, waiting for this, supposed task order to come live. We don't work for free because the department has, in the past, said, don't worry, we'll get you the money, and then it'll never show up kind of deal. So rather than pick up 1,000 little tasks to cobble 40 hours on a timesheet, I said, screw it. I'm on PTO. Last week I had 38 and a half hours of PTO, and this week I've already got 8. Well, that's part of the reason why I was on a spiral. Painting and streaming is all kinds of fun for me, and I am here to do the paintings. So hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday we will have our NTP that we've been waiting for a week and a half, which will be almost 2 weeks now. And I hope it didn't impact my surveyors. Or it might buy us some time and our surveyors might be able to give us crap and we might be able to design stuff off, hitting the ground running. bum. Be safe and enjoy your walk. I've done 2 of those today. Unfortunately, both of them were very unsatisfying. Good evening, Helgrat. How are you? I hope you're doing swell. Yay! A level 7 Dark Mage. Oh no! Your party has stumbled upon the level 7 Dark Mage. Whatever shall you do? Tiny Big Wars has attempted to raise a necromantic skeleton and wave hello. Will it be effective? Roll a d20 and find out. You can actually exclamation roll 20, and I think it will roll a d20. One word. One word. That's what it is. Roll d20. It has a small roll 20, yeah. It appears the charismatic Dark Mage would like to persuade the skeleton over to their side. I'm just goofing off. My brain is in let's be creative and goof off mode. But welcome in, Dark Mage. I hope you're gonna here for some chill vibes, goofy times, and see what Tiny Big Wars comes up with today. I'm working on Cirque from Big Child Creatives. We do mix it up on Mondays, in which we mix all of our own colors from the primaries that are on the palette. This white is not thin enough. I'm okay with being clothed. Clothed is preferred rather than naked. This isn't a brush for hire stream. Yeah. This isn't some weird Visit the Chronicler stream either. You can put your clothes back on. You have come to the only brushes. Only hands and brushes here. I do have a hankering to paint one not safe for work model, but we'll see how it goes. Critical Paint Studio, thank you for that follow. Enjoy and be chill. Howdy meowdy there. Son of a biscuit, I gotta fix all that up. All right. Stay focused. Face and hair, 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 face and hair. The more you say, face. This guy is from Big Child Creative's Echoes of Camelot series. Thank you for that stretch, Jay. Oh. At one point, they were running a sale on the 35 millimeter version, so I picked it up. So far out of the set, we have painted the Questing Pilgrim, which had broken legs, the Green Knight, which decided it wanted to be the most cursed model I have ever touched in my life. And we're currently working on Sir Kay, and Merlin is next. Oh, there he is. Sorry. This is the Green Knight that I painted up. So on Monday nights, I like to give myself a small challenge. Of painting. Oh wow, I did not paint that piece right there. Don't look upside down. Don't turn it upside down. We might fix that really quick. Oops. Green Knights are fun. This one was especially cursed because he wanted to fight me all the way along the process. And one of the issues with this figure is that, man, there are a lot of areas that just did not want to take paint worth a flying frack. Oh, there we go. A little bit better. So on Monday nights, I tend to do paint, mix it up Monday, which is I mix all of my colors from the palette that you see here to my right. These two figures are sharing the same palette. So finding ways to make green more interesting throughout the figure, along with the browns and the rusts and the coppers, it tends to be a challenge. And having the wood be slightly different and varying. But this figure decided it wanted to break at every point that it humanly possibly could break on. The antlers broke, I don't know how many times. The shield broke off. He broke off the base once. His sword broke, and I couldn't find it for a while. There's a couple of different variations of the Green Knight out there. That is the one from okay. So the Questing Pilgrim and that one have been that fragile. This one has not broken yet. Knock on wood. I have not had any issues with this piece yet. But he was also a single cast, so I don't expect there to be any major issues. It's just this one, it's just weird. So, like, they unfortunately went out of business for a reason, and why they went out of business is kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like, sorry about that, but there seems to be a quality control issue with your department. Welcome in, No Mana. Right here. They're going. They are going and going and going. Catra's hanging out somewhere. She's finally laid down to rest after a very eventful day of supervising me swipe out of Antisig. Thank you. Weather turned and I went for 2 walks today, and both of them were in the rain, unfortunately, so. And having to do a lot of, like, are you having to drive rivets by hand, or are you trying to use a plier for the rivet driving? And reforming the bracer. Under a roller, or are you hammering to reform the bracer? Ah, that's what I thought. I didn't know if you were using like an English wheel, which is oddly one of the most impressive tools that there is for that. It's weird. Hardened shape steel. Oh, you're probably beating the ever living crap out of it, and you're having to overbend it to get it to bend the ways that you want it to bend. Ah, press it by hand. I got you. It's not a workout I want. I'll be honest with you. I replaced a sink vanity and I was trying to replace my quick connects or the disconnects underneath the sink. And because they're the same disconnects that have been in here since the house was built. But the problem is that they no longer work the way they're supposed to because they don't shut the water all the way off. So I want to, swap them out. Um, so I tried to break them loose and they didn't break loose. I was like, well, I guess they're going to stay for a little bit longer. They even got the benzene short shot and it didn't want to budge, so. That may or may not be Epic Cheese TV. We don't know. We've actually never seen proof. They've just claimed they're Epic Cheese TV. I mean, he's just a little small artisan block of cheese that nobody really wants. Love you, cheese. Well, you're that cheese at the front of the grocery store that people like, oh, this is the artisan cheese block where the small handcrafted mozzarella lives. And you buy it one time and you're like, why did I buy this? This isn't all that much better than what I normally buy. That's what I think of right now. You age Gouda. Ooh. So does that mean you got a big sword sister? I like where No Man is going with this. You Gouda today? Ooh. I'm not a huge fan of Gouda. Honestly. I don't know what it is. I just people are like, oh, it's Gouda. I'm like, okay, Gouda, I guess. I could see it being good in sandwiches, but it's just Gouda. All right, since we're playing with black and white and grays, let's do the chainmail piece.
Emotional damage!
N0 Mana Man requests a dad joke.
What did Romans use to cut pizza before the rolling cutter was invented? Little Caesars. Oh, that one was actually kind of good. That was a small thinker. I like it. The joke. What did the Romans use to cut up pizza before the rolling pizza cutter was invented? The answer was Little Caesars. And stylus. And are they keyboard and stylus combined, or is it just a keyboard and a stylus? That actually doesn't sound all that bad. Honestly. Are you buying a fancy Keychron keyboard? Ah, I understand what you're getting at, Tiny. It's kind of weird that the Surface never took off the way it was supposed to. It was such an interesting piece of technology. I don't know, nerd. What you up to? What you up to, Antifreeze? You like my new message? Really? I thought the technology was interesting. Um, I waffled between buying a Surface and buying a Samsung tablet back in the day. But I elected to go with the Samsung tablet. Antifreeze, I thought you told me this was a dog. This thing looks like a furball waiting to like kill you. Oh, I, yeah. A very cute puppy, by the way. It would. So the Surface Pro is. I was looking at that and I was like, man, for I could just build a new computer for that price, or um. So I know that they're not going to be using it for CAD in the futures. I know that for a fact. Yeah. Uh, um. So I have an idea of where the industry is going. I just don't know if it's going to go well. Um, with the rise of virtual desktops and the seeming joys that people in IT are having with that, I could see buying Surfaces and using them to load into the virtual desktops. Um, or Chromebooks for that matter, possibly. I just don't know how that's going to go. I've actually had pretty good luck with them. Antifreeze. I'll be honest. I I actually kind of enjoy my VM workstation. Yeah. But for some softwares, it's just the data connections that are required and the storage space requirements used required for some workspaces with that I deal with. Um, I I don't know if I'll ever be able to switch over to a Surface or a tablet type system. You working on your Conan? Yeah. Yeah, so um my software problems, Tiny, is Bentley Open Roads Designer. Is it Bentley packages? So Bentley packages are terrible. Welcome to the cleanest wet palette ever. Let me explain to you emotional damage. Yeah. So we use a lot of ProjectWise, and essentially that software saves every 1.2 seconds and caps out on SharePoint and OneDrive systems in a matter of a week. So I cannot reliably utilize it as much as I would like. However, yeah. Um, however, if software companies are going the way that I believe that they're truly going to end up going, is going to be web-based anyway, it may not matter, which is going to be fucking wild if they do that. Yeah. The amount of data is nuts, and I'm not even halfway through a project and I've already capped, gigabytes of data so far. Our workspace alone for client specific standards for my state is at 900 files that has to come out locally every time you open a file. Yep. Yeah. Every 7 years. They're talking about doing an office move, so a lot of that stuff's starting to surface up right now. Throw everything out, try to declutter as much as you can. If you don't need it and you haven't touched it in the last 2 years, don't carry it with you, sort of deal. I know I wouldn't. I bought the tablet for myself and I have enjoyed it quite a bit. Mhm. Um, I I think it's kind of neat, but at the same time, my tablet's definitely starting to show the age, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, they're considered tablets, but they're not. They're full blown workstations. I mean, they were powerful little boxes, but I was like, I don't really want to spend $2,000 on something right then, right? So this tablet was like $500-600. I was like, that's exactly what I want. Yeah, I just I wasn't thinking all that hard. I mean, I need to replace that tablet. Um, I haven't replaced it yet, and it's probably time to replace it because they're not updating the operating system on it anymore, and that it bothers me when it's not being updated. Um, I, I didn't realize how much it would be nicer to have. I would have wished I had the Surface, because for DMing and running maps and ArcForge and all that kind of stuff, so much nicer, so much nicer, because it works a lot easier with remote technologies. Hmm. All right, I need to get his hair popping out a little bit more. I needs the Vite. that'll run you about 2K, and that's not what I want right now. Like I'm not. If I'm going to spend $2,000 on something, I want to build a proper tower. Is where I'm at right now. Which is oddly something I'm going to do around Thanksgiving. Yep. Which is about the same price as a Samsung tablet, but you know, it's the Surface has so much more availability and power. Mm-hmm. So I hadn't really bought a PC, and I was using the tablet as a PC substitute for a while, but there are some things that just don't work on it all that well. So I finally, right, for running like ArcForge and stuff like that, I finally broke down and bought a really cheap $500 laptop, like a really cheap laptop that sits downstairs right now and is really great at being the world's best paperweight for checking Reddit or looking at Crunchyroll. But it served me well for many years, and I'm surprised it has not died yet. And it might be getting to the last bits of its life, just a smidge. Oh yeah, it's so much nicer to have something that you can chill on the couch with. Like I I don't need any selling on this idea of Surface and tablets. When they first started creating the Surface and the tablets and stuff like that, I was not a huge fan of them, but I have come around to them since technology has improved so much. Oh yeah. Um, It's trying to think. Long before the Surface, Dell tried to create a tablet type system that just did not work at all. Um, they were just the world's useless POSs. Um, that knee pad is straight. You do have filigree. Yeah. I, by the way, we're an older group here. We can tell stories of back in my day stuff. Oh my god, tab 8. Some biscuit. Back when they called, like, Google called all of its operating systems named after, like, candy. Oh, yeah. When this tablet dies, I'll look at that. Um, because I will want another tablet when this one passes. Had power. I mean, it. Yeah. Um. So, do you guys remember in Windows 10 when they were trying to uh create an ecosphere between mobile and non-mobile surfaces, or non-mobile and non-mobile data kind of deal? So your PC could see your phone and your phone could see your PC stuff. Yeah. We call it the OneDrive now. Oh, I didn't expect that response. I had one of those Windows phones for a long time. It was a great idea, but man, its execution failed horribly. Yeah. Yeah. It's like Microsoft said, you know what? We hate money, so we're going to do everything wrong. It is crazy to me to watch them do that sometimes. They're doing it right now with the Xbox. Yeah. Uh, it's just it's like they missed the market or something and just did not understand what they were. Yeah. Like, because they just raised the Game Pass. Yeah. Like, the Game Pass isn't worth it anymore. It was like one of the most redeemable and encouraging things about the Xbox was the Game Pass system. And it's like, here, let's just take all of the idea we had for money and just say, you know what? Fuck it. We don't need this. Throw it away. Yeah. I just, all of the critics are going crazy right now over their decisions. You'll be okay, Paint Studios. You'll be a-okay. We'll be stopping about 8:30 tonight. I still need to do the work things in the morning. I don't need to go into the office, but I do need to do the work things still. So I will need to get some rest and relax myself. What you gonna work on, Paint Studio? If you don't mind me asking. I mean, it's true for anything. I still get jitters going live. I mean, every time I see this tiny Big Wars guy, ooh. Ooh. Sounds like fun. No. I just see them and I want to impress them, so I try to give them the good old razzle dazzle. And then he reminds me that he's married and I have to swoon alone. That's fun. Mm-hmm. What's that? That's a Bluetooth mouse. I love a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. You take my Bluetooth mouse away from me, Lord Almighty, I will flip out on you. Oh yeah. The Norm has died. The Norm hasn't died yet. He's getting in his painting. I You know this cart I was talking about that has potential PC parts in there is coming from Micro Center, right? No. What do you mean no? Oh, the guy who played Norm. Oh, that is sad. Yeah. I mean, there's a handful of times that I've gone in there that I've been able to be happy with the service I received, but I'll probably order it and then just pick it up and assemble it myself. I don't really like dealing with the people too much. They're nice. They're just weird. You're not wrong. The butt man is right. I mean, not all tech people are like that, I feel like. I mean, I've had plenty of good experiences with IT folks. It's just they hire some of the weirdest autistic people. That they can find. Because I talked to guys there that I was building out uh my home network. Because I mean they're problem solvers. And if I can buy what I want, I'm gonna buy it. The problem is one of the guys like actually recognized me because I went in there more than once one day. And I kind of explained to him that you needed to they should carry something different for their networking cables. Because the ones that they sold were the ones that you had to stack neatly in there, and I hated that. The ones where you can pass through the Cat5 and crimp, so much nicer. uh so I was building out my home internet system so I could have a wired connection here in the office that I'm using. So once upon a time, before I had fiber, all of the house was wired with Cat5. And because it was wired with Cat5, all of the rooms once upon a time had oh my god. Let me rinse my brush out and tell this story. Before I lose my shit laughing at that one, Tiny. So everything ran upstairs and came back downstairs and went to a route connection spot down in the first floor. When I had fiber installed, the guy kind of came up and jankied the connection lines a little bit, so I had to like get creative. So in order to fix it, I needed to create my own Cat5 connections on the existing cables that were already there. So what I was trying to do was I had to cut and crimp and then make the connections myself and put a new switch in the attic that's powered up there. Sounds easy until you realize you have to make your own cables. So one set of connectors that they sold, it butted up against the edge of the connector. So you had to get all of your colors correctly and then butt it into the connector. However, Klein Tools makes one now, or somebody was making ones that you slide the entire wire through and then crimp and cut all in one go. So much nicer to have the one that slides all the way through, so you can get all of your cables in the right order, slide it through, and then cut and crimp, and that way you're not worrying. Yeah. Micro Center didn't sell that one. Home Depot does. So much nicer when you're trying to reconnect your own, when you're trying to refix the thing. But to the 130-year-old guy with his mom, Please tell me it was like 5 years ago. Because that is just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Okay, that tracks. Yeah. I so I went with what they had. I had never made wire before paint, and this was my first go at it, and I was having a lot of troubles. And the problems I was having was I forgot what the guy did to run the fiber upstairs is he split out a couple of cables. So I had to pull the one from the router, take a photo of it, look at the order in which he had the colors of the wires going, and then redo the connector upstairs in the same way, and it works perfect. Like it works so well. And I'm like, I now understand how to fix all my problems. So all of my offices and my bedrooms upstairs have a dedicated ether cable that can be plugged in for near light speeds. It's just, the mental struggle that it took to get there. But I got there and I got it done. It should be a straight through config. But the way when I had AT&T fiber installed in the house, it was nice because the guy did me a solid. So the router and the modem for the internet's downstairs, right? He did me a solid and ran a cable upstairs into the attic and hooked it up into one of the offices, and I had to fix the rest of it from there. My internet can poop better. He did something he wasn't supposed to do, and I'm very grateful for what he did. Because he was only supposed to do that one connection, but somehow I convinced him to do a second one. Yeah. So he did me a solid, and I will always be appreciative of it. Just it sucked remembering how to fix it. I mean, if you can run with fiber, it's so much nicer. Personally, I think it is nicer. No, it was Comcastic. It was Comcastic. Yeah. Um, it, and it would, I mean, so I know a handful of people that really so I knew a guy that I used to work with a guy that used Google Fiber back in the day in Kansas City and had houses where it was connected. But he moved here and he's like, it sucks. You can't have Google Fiber. It's like, yeah, I know. They like to email me and like, we're in your area. I'm like, no, you're not. Piss off. Also, you're Google Fiber and I'm tired of you being shitty. Ah. Well, I have the solution to that, Paint Studios. We elect Yab as your prime minister and have him fix it. I'm pretty sure Yab is corrupt enough to get it fixed. Oh, I mean, we're still living the mess in America right now. We have fiber, but it's not because of a business's best interest. It's because AT&T was told to do it. Hmm. I don't know if it's monopoly or if it's just expensive. I am curious to hear the story, though. Internet technology and utilities can be interesting. Um, just because I find those conversations aren't. It's weird the conversations that are had with why they are. So, as I was mentioning earlier to someone, there's a guy by the name Day9 TV was talking about why um, Koreans were so much better at esports than anybody else. Yeah, Day9 is an amazing person. And one of the books that was written about it was during the telecom boom, what uh, that kind of makes sense. It became a government standard for copper, so nobody cared to try to maintain their own system. That kind of tracks. They never realized that copper wire would corrode and erode over time. This is utilities? No, they can't. They have to dig up the old stuff and remove it and put new stuff down. All right. That reminds me, I need to have someone QC something. Uh, anyway. But Day9 was talking about why he read a book about why I mean, he was also living the Brood War days, so he kind of lived some of it. Is that when South Korea military service was coming towards an end, there was an incentive for them to take early retirement, and essentially they could take early retirement, but one of the requirements is that they had to build a net cafe somewhere. And essentially what ended up happening was that the kids, once they got out of school, went to the net cafes and they started playing video games on the internet. It it's kind of a joke, Tiny. Um, Sometimes they do that and sometimes they don't understand that. It just depends on how intelligent the person is that day. Yeah, government funded. Yeah. Hey there, Hootie. Hey, Hootie. I would like to say this one's for you as well. I like its little Nan hi. I just dropped that. Probably when King made it. I miss StarCraft, but then I remember all of the people that played it, and I go, I don't miss StarCraft that much. I mean, that's how I found Day 9 when he was running Day 9 dailies. The whole mess with the Uniden. I don't think his hands actually gloved. Mm-hmm. The toxic as fuck player base. I mean, they're still toxic as all get out nowadays. It's just different form of toxicity. Hi, sweetie. How are you? I have about another 15 minutes left in me. Critical Paint, you have a great night. You just caught your 6-year-old daughter singing K-pop. Uh-oh. It's time to have that chat, Tiny. If you guys can, give Vertical Paint Studios a follow. Your son, it's time to have that chat with your son. Maybe you need to talk to your wife and be like, your son was talking about singing K-pop Demon Hunters. How are you, sweetie? Depends on the country. It depends on the country. It's coming back.
Painty_paints, stay in frame, smiley face.
You just want the cat in frame. This is what you want. I know what you want, Tiny Big, and it's disgusting. You just want to see the top of the kitty's head. It made a comeback at one point. It's not the worst. You want to hang out on my shoulder? I'll let you hang out back there, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. I have like 10 minutes left, and I've really got the serotonin going. And you're really harsh on my jam right now, sweetie. You're really harsh on my mellow, man. Mhm. Oh my God, Tiny, new album. Is it fire or not? Or is she just singing about Kelsey's, size of his football? Like, seriously, spill some tea here, sweetie. I have not checked out the new album yet. I thought it was really weird. There hadn't been like a lot of news about it. Welcome in on Farrell. How'd you do? How was Dragonfall? She does not like the sound. Yeah, you got a copper for your gobbo. Excellent. all the friends. That's excellent. We've been working on this guy tonight. I've got like the hard charge of serotonin to like push to finish him, but I'm like, I also have to work tomorrow. It's like, well, I might have to work tomorrow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Clearly he's blasting Swift right now. I'm just curious how her new album is. I've seen little bits of it. I haven't heard it all in its entirety yet. Like the radio's silent with it. Tell me, what am I supposed to be rocking out to with Taylor? I'm glad you made it back. You and both you and Raccoon made it back safe and sound. Did Feral Raccoon? Oh, you two are gonna be the death of me, and I'm gonna. You know what you did. Um. Did Runic have a class that he was teaching? I mean, I can ask him when he goes live again and see how he did, but. That is all messed up right now. That foot is all messed up. You fix that foot right now. Fix that foot or the internet's going to be forever angry at you that you screwed up a foot. Too bluey. Hmm. Bum, bum. Excuse me. Bum, bum. So what do we need to do to technically finish this? This needs to get smoothed out. I just realized he's not wearing gloves, and I'm going to have to fix that. It needs to be gold. It needs to be gold. All right. We are at the end of our night. I must go. The sleepies are starting to find me. However, we must make sure to raid forward and send love to someone. It is rare that I get to raid into Lotus, so we're going to raid into Lotus, okay? Actually, we're going to raid into our good friend Chimera Paints, because I believe I know where Tiny Epic Cheese Wars is at. And it's probably with him, so we will get an answer of what the Taylor Swift album is like from Tiny Big Wars. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. Thank you for hanging out and spending your night with me. It is very appreciated, and I love you all. Let's go see our good friend Chimera Paints.